Hi, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Round Robin. I'm your host, Tracy Preston, along with Christine Mulligan, Nina Mulligan, and Angela Hafler. Hey, everyone.
Hello, Governor. Howdy doody, y'all. What's up?
I cannot ever get through an introduction without a giggle. I love it. Well, guess what, you guys? We have some very important business to discuss to kick off the show. You want to know what it is?
Oh, ready?
Yep. It's
No.
No.
Who's going to say no? Why are you asking, Sally?
Guess what? It's Pride Month.
Yeah.
It's a Pride Month, and it's a big deal.
It is.
It came around quick, didn't it?
It did, but that's what's happening. The older I get, the faster these years go by.
Yeah. And I don't know about what's going on in Florida, but I'm going to tell you right now, Michigan has a huge calendar of events for the whole month, all over from the very top of Michigan to the very bottom. I got stuff popping up on my phone like crazy since the 31st.
That is a good thing. I'm glad Michigan is doing so well. Our area, Orlando and other counties around here, they're doing stuff. And of course, stuff is happening in Miami and in the Panhandle. But I don't really know if the state is doing anything. I don't know. But I haven't looked into it. And partially because I don't think I want to know. I'll just stay in my happy Pride bubbles where they are. I have several Pride bubbles. And I will stay in them and enjoy the pride and party and the party and pageantry of Pride. I will luxuriate in that, but the thing is that we have to be hyper mindful of the reason behind the party and pageantry. It's just a positive way to stay visible, to represent, and to be a safe harbor for all others that aren't authentic yet.
Agreed. And Christine, you lead an ERG for work, and I love being a part of that group. I know you guys have a lot coming up that's going on. Do you have anything else that you want to chat about regarding Pride, or?
I don't know. I am hopefully optimistic, but hyper aware of circumstances and situations across our nation. That's all. So I have this, it's a little bit of a reverence about it right now. It seems sacred to me right now. So I probably shouldn't talk too much about it.
Mm-hmm. I respect that. But what I will say is I'm an ally, Todd's an ally, and we love the community and wholeheartedly support it. So I also, in the show notes, I did post www.pridesource.com for any of our Michiganders who want to see what kind of celebrations are happening near you, because legit, there's a ton to do. So get out there, have fun, and always with any gathering, just, like Christine said, be mindful, right? There's crazies out there. But anyway.
Yes, and thank you, Tracy, for being an ally, because we all need to be allies of all other humans.
Agreed.
So,
yep.
Thank you.
Except for murder.
Except for murder. Okay, but they got the punishment, crime and punishment. That's what that's about.
Right. Well, love is love, baby, and I'm all about it. I don't care how it comes. Love it. All right, so who doesn't enjoy
You might want to edit that one.
Wait, what'd I say? How'd it sound? What'd I do?
You said, I don't care. Love is love. I don't care how it comes.
You might want to edit that out.
What if I don't?
It should be on a t-shirt. Brilliant.
Yeah, it might be good.
No, we're leaving it. Fuck it.
I'll make her a t-shirt.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. The more I think about it, maybe I will. No, I'm not. I'm leaving it. That's it.
Yeah, well, that's it. thing. That is actually kind of prophetic a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem with people that worry about what other people are, whether they're gay, straight, or other, anything in between, the whole spectrum of it all. The thing is, why do we worry about that? Why is it about the private things that people do? Why does everyone's thoughts go to that first? Like, that's kind of weird for me.
Well, it's because it's like they don't want to light shine on their freaky shit.
Well, that's the thing, is it's projection, because they're worried about what they're doing. They're literally standing there imagining what we're doing. It's just crazy.
But it's also, well, we also need to be like mindful too. I feel like sometimes because we are lesbians, people just be like, oh, how do you have sex? And I'm like, what? You wouldn't go up to a straight couple and say that. You wouldn't go up to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Like if you were just meeting people, like I don't know how many times like we'll just meet people and they want to know like how we do it. You know? I mean, I just think that's crazy.
You want to know what's
Would
crazy?
you ever, as a straight person, go up to another straight person and be like, I'm sorry, but can you explain to me how you have sex with each other?
It's moronic.
Because listen, Nina and I both have the experience of being perceived as a heterosexual woman. We were both married to men with families for the first half of our lives. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So never have I ever, as a married woman to a married to a man woman, never have I ever had someone said to me, so like, what is it you guys do?
People really say these things to you guys? Is this a true story? Unreal.
Yeah, true story.
Wow.
It's bonkers.
Is it such a mystery? Come on.
I don't know.
I'm like, there's the internet. Google it. Like, I just, you know, if it was an intimate setting and there was a friend who was genuinely curious and they had a question, then, you know, I'm all for that. Like, let's talk about it. You know, no biggie. But like randos, you know?
That's weird.
And like, I mean, Tracy, how many men, like if they come up to you and they say, hey, you're looking good or whatever, and you say, oh, I'm married, they look at Todd and they go, no, that's not true. Come on, get out of here. Like we get that all the time too. Like we don't get even taken seriously in that respect. And really that's what Pride is about. It is a remembrance of the protesting and the protesting to have the same rights as everybody else. And that is literally just being able to express who we are out in public without it being a crime, which is like crazy if you think about it.
It's absolutely crazy. And if you want to know, you know, if people really want to know what quote unquote straight people are doing, how they're having sex, maybe you should pay attention to the Puff Daddy trial. That's crazy.
Right?
That's crazy. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, people who ask questions like that are just rude.
Agreed.
It's just rude.
And disrespectful.
Yeah.
Maybe you should turn to them and say, well, why don't you tell me how you do it?
Yeah, but the thing is, all right, so everybody knows that I'm kind of like an empath. I vibe on people's vibes, right? So usually when people do ask me things like that, I do vibe that they're genuinely concerned. Or sometimes I have genuinely vibes that they're genuinely disgusted. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I get that, we get that too.
Yeah.
We get the people that are like just super curious and they're like, oh, we're allies. We're just really like, we got to know. You know what I mean? Like, is it really like porn or, you know, do you really not do that? Is that just all acting? You know what I mean? Like bad porn acting at that. So it's hysterical to me that sometimes they'll be genuinely curious, you know, just like a bunch of girlfriends. Like Tracy and I have girlfriends and in the very heteronormative way, you know what I mean? We've been friends and we've had conversations about sexual things that we've done in our past, you know what I mean? Or sexual things that we fantasize about doing to a, you know, hunk of a man or something back in the day. We've had those conversations. Girlfriends, heterosexual girlfriends, have those conversations. So sometimes I don't feel like it's completely wrong for me to have those kind of conversations about intimate, private things that people do. So there is a place that's okay, that's educational, that's mind expanding, for somebody that genuinely had the curiosity of it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
I do understand that, and I respect that. And I engage in that, even though it has driven Nina crazy sometimes. She's like, because Nina feels very adamant about that, like, what in the hell?
Well, here's the thing, though. That's like me going to, an African-American woman and asking her how I can help her. And her answer to me will be, it's not my job to teach you how to be an advocate for me. You're just supposed to be an advocate. So I do not mind having conversations with people if it's coming from a genuine perspective and we're having a conversation that flows in that nature, But it's like, when it's like every time, every subject, every time we see you or randos asking, I'm just like, this is what the internet is for. And just so that I can squash anybody's questions, girl on girl situation in the porn industry is very much for the heterosexual male gaze. Okay? So if you think that's what we're doing in the bedroom, just think no.
Well,
because that is crazy. Some of that stuff is crazy. That is all acting. Just like regular head porn is the same way. It's about angles. It's about looking a certain and like longevity now and there. Like, it's all scripted and planned out. Nobody does that shit in real life.
yeah, that's not normal sexual behavior.
To another,
you know what I'm saying? Right.
They know ADHD stuff.
So that's the thing. It's almost insulting to any sexuality to even believe that porn is some kind of representation. It's not. It's a fantastical version of that for arousal. So if that's the kind of stuff that turns you on, then great. But like, don't be thinking about what I'm doing in my bedroom. I just don't.
It's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah,
I don't
is.
go
I
home
agree.
and think about what Jim and Mary from the bar do in their bedroom after I've met them. You know, like, I don't go and go, ooh, I wonder if they're doing anal tonight. Yeah. It doesn't cross my mind.
Yeah, and I don't want to know. I don't want to know what anybody's doing in their bedroom, and it's none of my business. I don't care.
But I'm super happy for them. I'm too happy for them.
Whatever you're doing, keep it up if it makes you happy.
Exactly. Well, that was
all right. Well,
that
we
was a
went
good one.
way off course on that one, I'm sure.
Oh, that's all right.
Rewind. Where were we?
That's all right. All right, so so we're moving on. All right, so who doesn't enjoy a beautiful sunset? I know I do. You?
Nope, I hate them.
You lie.
I'm just going to say no the whole thing. Get used to it.
Everything tonight is no. No. No and no. Well, for me, it's magical, right? It's that brief moment in time where you're like, oh my gosh, I'll never see another one just like this, because it's just that moment. It's a moment to relax and inhale and just kind of let everything go. So there was...
Tracy,
What?
that's why you are a vibe. That's exactly why you are a vibe. You do that with so many moments in life. You think they're magical, and you're never going to do them again. So just soak it in. That is one of the many things that I love about you, Bestie, is that you do know how to just be in the moment, which is definitely the reason why we're besties. I do not have that, so I have to have you in my life.
I'm all sunshine and roses, but then I'm dark and gloomy.
Yeah, exactly. You're the far end of the spectrum.
Yep.
And I kind of bebop in the middle everywhere, so I need to bounce off.
Well, we're going to keep bouncing. All right. Well, they did, I do have a little bit of a list here of some of the most beautiful places to watch the sunset.
Go on with the bad self.
All right. Well, this one totally took me by surprise. So I'm going to see what you guys think about it. New York City.
It is beautiful.
right? Now,
I can attest to that.
all right, so I wonder if you saw this one. So this type of sunset only happens twice a year. And Christine, don't ask me the dates because I don't know, because I know that's what your brain is saying. Like, well, what is the time of year? I don't know. But twice a year.
Now, it just happened not too long ago yet, where it lines up perfectly.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is a sight to behold. I have seen it a few times, and it is awe-inspiring.
Yeah, right. So,
That's one of the moments that I get to bounce onto your side of the world.
yep. So now, like right in Manhattan area, right? So the moon, as it crosses over, perfectly aligns between the buildings and the street. So it looks like between the buildings and the road, there's just this ginormous moon right in the middle of the street. Is that what you saw, Christine?
Yes.
Yeah. And they showed a picture of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. If only you could catch that for a greeting card. That'd be cool.
Oh, I'm sure they're out there.
They gotta be.
There's a whole thing. Like they always have like celebrations about that too. Like there'll be a whole thing in the streets for that when that's happening.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool? That'd be fun. That'd be super fun. So there's that one. And then in the Northern Territory of Australia, and we have listeners there, there is a giant sandstone monolith named Uluru, also known as Ayers Rock, and is one of the most important Indigenous sites in Australia. And the rock is made of sandstone, and to me, it just looks like this ginormous burnt orange rock. And so as the sun is setting on it, it just looks like it's on fire. I would love to see that. Another great spot is the Taj Mahal. Wouldn't that be cool to see a sunset there? And did you guys know that the Taj Mahal was built in 1648? That blew my freaking mind. I mean, I knew it was old, but I don't think I ever realized it was that old. 1648. Nuts. All right.
That's awesome.
Yep. Another great place to see the sunset is in Madagascar's native baobab trees. I hope I'm saying that right. Those are the trees. They also call them like upside down trees. It looks like, right, you got a big trunk going down, and then the top of the trees kind of look like roots. Kind of like the trees like in The Lion King. That would be beautiful.
That would be.
Mm-hmm. And then the last one I'm going to throw out there is from Yosemite National Forest in California at El Capitan. They call it firefall. So when the sun is setting and like as the, if the clouds are just right, as they're kind of moving over El Capitan, it looks like a waterfall of fire. Now I saw a video of it and it blew my mind. It looks like freaking fire. That would be really cool. So,
That's cool.
Yeah.
That sounds all nice.
I know.
I think at those places we would all have to adopt Tracy's outlook on life.
See?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm there anyways.
I know. All right. Did you guys ever watch Stranger Things on Netflix?
Of course. Yes.
Okay. So there is a final season coming up, and it's this year. There is a, what do you call it? A streamer. Like there's a streamer out right now if you look it up online or on Netflix. So it's the 5th and final season, and it's been 3 years since the last season aired. And the first premiere is on November 26th. Part 2 is going to be on Christmas. And then the finale is on New Year's Eve. What a way to go out. And I can't wait. It looks intense.
I don't even know how many seasons there's been, but I feel like I stopped watching after season 2. So I'm super behind.
Yeah, well, now's a good time to get caught up because you've got until November. So there's 4 seasons. This is the 5th and final. And I love it. And it's something that Emily's into too. So it'll be nice that we can all kind of watch that together. And I love watching like from, the very first season to even like the 4th season, like how much those kids grew. I love watching that. So I'm excited for that. I got that shit on the calendar. This one kind of hits home a little bit for Nina. Have you guys heard much about that prison break from New Orleans that happened on May 16th?
Mm-hmm.
I saw some TikToks on it. I think they've got everybody but like 2 now.
Yep.
2 or 3 people still on the run or something like that.
Yep.
What happened? I didn't hear nothing about this.
All right. So on May 16th, this is like, I don't ever recall hearing a prison break where 10 people broke out of prison before. like onesie twosies, but never 10. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. So apparently a toilet and a sink were ripped out of one of these guys' cell walls, and then they all ran and escaped through the hole in the wall and ran out. They even have it on video that you can see them all just hauling ass out of the prison. It's like, I don't even know, like, how did they, so, okay, you got out of the prison, but how'd you get through the walls and the razor wire and all that kind of shit? I don't even know how that happened. I think there was a prison guard that was involved, or a janitor that was involved. I don't know the whole skinny on all that. So, but somehow I did see that. I believe it was a janitor that helped them get out. So they're in trouble. And then, of course, anybody who is aiding and abetting these people are also going to get prison time. And you are right, Nina. There are 2 that are still, what do you call it, out on the lam? I think that's the verbiage.
Yeah.
At large.
At large.
At large. So anyway, the 2 that are still out there, they're very, very dangerous. So there was just 2 that were caught after a high-speed chase in Texas. So Regina's kind of neck of the woods. Now Texas is huge, so I'm not really sure if that's really her neck of the woods. I don't even remember the town, but those 2 were caught. So the 2 that are left, one of them was convicted on 2 charges of second-degree murder and 2 charges of attempted second-degree murder related to a shooting during Mardi Gras. And then the other dude is charged with domestic abuse involving strangulation, motor vehicle theft. There's also a second warrant out for this guy for second-degree rape, second-degree kidnapping, domestic abuse, also including strangulation. So these 2 guys are the cream of the crop. So if we have any listeners in Louisiana and in Texas, please be careful, stay on the lookout, and report these guys. Because guess what? There is a $50,000 a piece cash reward for information that leads to these guys' capture. So be careful out there, everybody. It's nuts.
That is bananas. They just, so the outside, I'm so confused. They ripped the sink out of one of their cells inside of the building that just so happened to be on an outside wall of the building. And then there was no fencing beyond that wall.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very confusing as well because, like I said, you could, now, who knows, like maybe through the wall there was a tunnel. I don't know how exactly they got outside. The next thing the only thing that you can see in the video, and I'm like, are these all the people that escaped? I didn't realize it was 10. It just seemed like one after the other. They were just hauling ass, running over these stairs, getting onto the lawn. And then from there, I don't know where they went. So I don't know if this was something like an Alcatraz they were working on. Like, hey, we're working on getting this toilet and the seat out, chipping away at it with a spoon. I don't know. I don't know if, this janitor maybe that was all set up like, hey, get my van. I don't know. I don't know those details. I don't know if I didn't see anything in what I read, but it's interesting. Definitely an inside job. There's no way 10 freaking prisoners can just run out of prison.
Yeah. What is that? That's just bananas to me.
Well, I'm sure we may never know exactly how they got out because it wouldn't behoove them to let the rest of the inmates know how the other inmates got out.
Yeah.
So they're not going to make that public knowledge because then people would always be trying to go to that weak spot,
Yeah. And I wonder if they're going back to that same prison.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't, but that weak spot will hopefully not be a weak spot immediately after. It will be ironclad.
Right.
You would think.
It just makes you wonder, like, really? I mean, and these guys that were running out, they're not little dudes. They're not 5'2" running around. Like, they look like pretty decent-sized men, high 5s, 6 feet tall, and none of them were skinny.
But they were running pretty fast.
It's just, I would have been running so fast, there would have been smoke coming off my shoes. Like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. But this escaping from prison just sounds like a really bad idea. You are always going to get caught. Just might take a little bit of time, but it ain't good. Yeah. You're never getting out after that, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we did a story on a guy once this is back in the day, before we have facilities that we have nowadays. But remember, he escaped from prison 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
One of the people that, yeah.
Yeah, and the last time he had a helicopter come swoop in and get them all.
Yeah. Hysterical.
That was the, what's that movie with Tom Cruise? Dun, 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 da. Remember, I couldn't think of it last time? Mission Impossible.
Yeah, the Mission Impossible one.
Yeah. Just don't do bad shit and go to prison. How about that?
Right?
That's the best idea.
Walk the straight and narrow, please. Stop hurting people. All right. Would you guys ever go paragliding? I don't know if I'd do it. I take a lot of risks.
I do it just because you're holding yourself up. I mean, what if I fail? I don't have enough confidence in myself for that. That's too much pressure.
And if you do it wrong, because like when I think about paragliding, I think about the triangular setup, and then you got the big thing, your big wings above you and all that kind of stuff, and your feet are up behind you. But there's also paragliders where you're actually kind of sitting in something. You know what I mean? Like your lower body's almost in like a cocoon, and your legs are out in front of you, like you're sitting down with your legs straight out.
Yeah, but your arms still have to be kind of like guiding where you're going.
Yeah.
That's a lot of strength you need. That's just a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, well, listen to this. There was a man, a Chinese man, so he was paragliding, and apparently he had just gotten some secondhand used equipment, and he was going to test that out. Well, while he was testing it out, there's this thing. It's a rare atmospheric phenomenon known as a cloud suck, and it gripped this dude up. I know. I'm like, well, that's an interesting term.
Cloud suck.
Cloud suck.
Are we talking about what we were talking about before again?
We're back to pride. It's only something lesbians know about. Cloud suck.
Yeah.
So anyway, this cloud suck gripped this dude and yanked him up 28,000 feet. 28,000 feet. And apparently this was over and I'm going to slaughter this. I even tried looking it up so I didn't sound like an idiot. Qilian Mountains in China. And apparently that's like an army base area over there. So anyway, this is what this guy had to say. He said, quote, "I had just bought a secondhand paragliding harness and wanted to test it. So I was conducting ground parachute shaking." Now, I don't know what all that means. So maybe he's on the ground with his stuff and just kind of jostling it around just to see what'll work, what doesn't work. And then he said,
I think it sounds exactly like what you said it was. Ground parachute shaking.
Right. He's just sitting in that thing, shaking that shit around. So after a while, this wind suddenly picked up and lifted me into the air. I tried to land as soon as possible, but I failed, and I found myself surrounded by cumulonimbus clouds, and he was trapped inside. He said it was terrifying, and everything around him was white, and without a compass, I wouldn't have known which direction I was heading. He thought he was flying straight, but in reality, he was spinning. So a cloud suck occurs when a paraglider is pulled into a strong upward air current near those cumulonimbus clouds. They are powerful updrafts that rapidly increase the pilot's altitude. This is sudden, intense, and unpredictable. All right, so now I will tell you that this poor man, so we know it's colder, right? The higher up you go in altitude, the colder it is. This guy was in negative 40 degree temperature. Now, this is what I also learned because I'm like, okay, because it said Celsius, negative 40 Celsius. I'm like, okay, well, I know that number is a lot lower than Fahrenheit. So I went to calculate it. Negative 40 Celsius and negative 40 Fahrenheit, that's where they intersect. So they are actually the exact same degree. Negative freaking 40. Could you imagine that?
Sure.
And so this dude was covered in snow and in ice. And the crazy thing is this guy had a camera and he videotaped the whole thing. You've got to see it. I also put that link in the show notes. But here's the thing, because I'm like, okay, so he had a camera strapped up somewhere, but then if you watch the video of it, like at the end, it just kind of seems like, is that real? Because it seems like there's a zoom and it's like it almost looks like he's on a stage. You got all these clouds, and I rewatched it and rewatched it because I'm like, is this fake? Is this not fake? But I'm watching the clouds behind him just subtly change, so I think it's real. But I don't know. You'll have to watch it and let me know what you think. But anyway, this guy had severe frostbite and hypoxia, but he did make it down safely. And because he and a friend posted this video on Douyin, which is China's version of TikTok. Now, when I looked it up, it's actually x.com. And I got a little nervous because it wanted me to put in my birth date and all that stuff. I'm like, no, I don't think so. But anyway, because they uploaded this onto Douyin, they actually they've received a 6-month ban from paragliding activities due to his unauthorized flight and safety violations. I mean, what? He had no control over that. This thing just sucked him up.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nuts. I don't know how he survived it. I mean, I just don't know how he survived it temperature-wise and how oxygen-wise. I don't know how he survived that either. It was very interesting.
I would be like 6 months? Okay. How about for life, man? For life.
I'm sure. I was thinking the same thing, Andrea. I'm sure he's like, okay, I'll stay out of the air for 6 months or more, possibly forever.
No.
Okay.
This is my theory about those kinds of people. They're on their last life cycle. That's why they like to do crazy shit like that, because they know they're not coming back. So they're going to jump out of planes, or they're going to put on like those little sugar glider outfits and hop off of Mount Everest, you know?
Oh, those flight suits.
Scale some building and, Australia and free base off of it, or base jump, whatever they call it.
Freebies.
Because you gotta have a death wish. You gotta not care. So I fully believe that people like that will go and they'll do it again. The minute he's able to do it, he's gonna do it.
Well, it's the adrenaline out of all of it, right? I mean, it's exciting.
Free basing for them is really the same thing. That is that drug.
Yeah.
It's the adrenaline that they produce themselves. They put themselves in those positions. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm agreeing with your new terminology. Free base jumping, because it is their drug.
Yeah. Now, I've jumped out of a plane a couple times, parachuting. I loved it, the thrill of it. But it's like, I don't know, for me, it was like, why not? Why not? I don't know if I'm on my last flight. If I'm meant to die, then, I mean, I don't know what my plan is. There's a plan for me, for you, for everybody. I mean, I guess in my opinion, why not? If it's something that's exciting to you, or why not do it? It's invigorating. I'll tell you that much. I loved jumping out of a plane.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I was just commenting on, if it were me and they told me 6 months, I'd be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. 6 months, maybe lifetime. I'm good.
Yeah.
Do it once. I'm all for it. And we need all kinds of people. So have at it. I'm happy for them, but it wouldn't be me.
I agree. I'd be done. Nope. I'm pretty good. Did you guys ever see that? There's a documentary on Netflix, of course, about. I wish I could remember this guy's name right offhand, but he's a, what do you call it? A free climber. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Do you know what I'm talking about? The rock climbers that use zero ropes.
No safety ropes.
Yeah, no safety. Did you guys see the guy who did El Capitan?
No. But I know of the people you speak.
Yeah, I love
crazy.
The people I speak.
Crazy strong fingers.
I know of the people you speak.
Yeah,
I know. That was great.
Crazy strong fingers.
I don't know how they do it. I couldn't do it. But there's something out of it that they get, because when I was watching this documentary, I'm like, I keep saying to myself, dude, please don't do it. Please don't do it. But that's what this guy lived for. Like his entire life, he was all about it. And he, never had a girlfriend really, because climbing was his wife, so to speak. And he never had a problem, never was hurt. He ends up meeting this girl, and he really falls for her. And all of a sudden she starts going along and watching, and like, boom, boom, he fell and I think broke his ankles. Then another time I'm like, dude, probably stop taking this chick to the frickin' climb with you. So then he's going to do this El Capitan thing. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to die because this girl's involved. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if it's just their brain goes somewhere. I don't know what it is. I think the first time the girl, because like sometimes they use ropes like as he's learning, because he learns the path he's going to go, and then he does it over and over and over and over, practices before he does it free without any safety ropes or anything like that. But he did it. And I was like, oh my God, I could barely breathe the whole time he was doing it. And even his friends, you know, because you have your group of friends and they're like, well, this is what he wants to do. We're here. But it's like, I can't watch my friend die. And as they're doing the, you know, the documentary, like they're showing climber after climber after climber after climber that falls to their end. But they fall doing what they love. But I'm all about it as long as there's safety involved.
It gives new meaning to falling in love. Or I'm falling for you.
Yeah.
I think it's lack of concentration.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Your head is somewhere else.
Yeah.
You're using the wrong head. He was using the wrong head.
Hey, I wonder how he does it.
Oh my God.
Would he be irritated if I asked him that? Maybe. Anywho, I just thought I'd throw that in there. All right, so one last thing before we wrap it up. I just want to throw this out there for anyone who's in the Lansing area this weekend. It's called the Haunting and REO Town Marketplace. So REO is like kind of a historic area in Lansing, the old automobile area. Anyway, it's this Saturday, June 7th. It starts at 11, goes to 6 p.m., and after hours, now it's limited. I don't even know. Todd and I were trying to get tickets. He was really bummed. He's like, Trace, I don't think we're getting the tickets. But after dark, it's $35 a person, and there's an exclusive ghost hunt along with some paranormal investigators. And we are hoping so bad that we are able to get those tickets. But I don't know. It's looking like we're not. But anyway, Todd and I are going to be there. And Todd designed a couple of Malice t-shirts. We're going to be wearing those. So if anybody goes that listener to the show and you see us, come on up and say hi. We'd love to talk to you.
Very cool.
Yep. Yep.
Very cool.
It's going to be fun. And Q106 is going to be there. So Angela knows Q106. It's been around since we were kids. It's a great rock and roll station. It's a cool station. They have a bunch of great, I don't know, what do you call them? MCs, DJs probably. Anyway, they're going to be.
I think so.
Yep. They're going to be there live broadcasting from 12 to 2. So I'm going to make sure we make our way over to see those guys and introduce them to Malice.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. And there's going to be a paranormal author there, Nicole Bouchamp. So I'm looking forward to seeing her, and she's doing like a, autograph signing and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's what we're doing this Saturday. You guys have any good plans?
Seeing my daughter move the rest of the way.
Boo. That's a lot of work. Moving's hard.
It is.
Yeah.
But worth it.
Yeah.
They're excited.
Yeah, that's always fun. I love sleeping in a new place for the first time. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So what about you, Nicole and Nina? Are you guys doing anything?
Nicole. Oh, who's Nicole?
Did I say Nicole? Oh my God, I had a stroke.
You did?
Oh my God, is that her girlfriend?
Who the fuck is Nicole? Lock it up. Shush.
What are you doing? This is going to be a conversation. Oh, no.
I just thought I'd stir the pot and then I'm going to hang up. No, there is no Nicole. I don't even know where that came from. Legit, I think I had a stroke. Christine, you're in the clear. There really is no Nicole. I promise. So, Christine and Nina, do you have any plans?
We're doing some pride stuff, of course, but nothing that we can publicize too much. Just local community stuff.
Cool.
So that'll be fun.
And next weekend is our 3-year anniversary.
Oh my goodness.
3
that
years
went
we've been
fast.
together, but we've been married for a year and a half.
It's not our wedding anniversary.
No, but that's coming.
Nina is one of those. We have several anniversaries of everything. There's always
The
an
first time you
anniversary.
looked at me. The first time you held my hand. But you know what? You guys are coming up on your 2-year wedding anniversary. That's coming.
Yeah.
In October.
In October. It's still a long ways away.
Not really. It'll be here before you know it.
True story.
Yeah. Well,
That's exciting.
yeah. Well, happy upcoming anniversary, ladies.
Trace, I don't need your encouragement. Okay? Please don't encourage.
I support you, Nina. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you as always. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe. Oh, and by the way, our numbers are going up. Loving it. Thank you, everybody. Please keep coming back. And we're going to see you all back on Friday for F-Bomb. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.
Later.
Bye. Hey, everyone. Before I end the show, I just wanted to emphasize Pride Month. Be kind to one another, accept one another, and most of all, celebrate who we are as individuals. Love equals love, period. So, enjoy Pride Month. Let's get our groove on.